$145,000. Okay, that is the amount of money that I was supposed to get this year. $145,000. Now I fumbled the bag and I did not get the $145,000. Now inherited is this breath thing. So obviously this breath smells really bad. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to say.
The Bamboo Project Podcast starts in 3, 2.
Welcome to the Bamboo Project Podcast. I decided I wanted to become a billionaire, doing what I already love to do while documenting my journey to get there. I figure I'll make all the mistakes so you don't have to. My name is Donovan Gray, and this is how I will turn my life into a living. So I want to start off by giving a shout out to the Bamboo Project family. One of my immediate goals is to learn what it takes to become a millionaire and then help 1,000 Bamboo Project family members get there. This may be your first episode, but for everyone else, this is episode 51 of this story. We are currently streaming on all major streaming platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, and wherever you stream podcasts, we'll be there. If not, someone's getting fired. For everyone listening to this podcast and not watching it, you can find us on YouTube at The Bamboo Project. We know sometimes you'll be at home like, damn, what can I watch on YouTube? Well, we have over 300 videos of Dr.Sebi inspired cooking tutorials, travel lifestyle vlogs, tips on makeup, hair growth, real estate, basketball, and everything us. You can find us on social media at Donovan Gray, DONIVANGRAY, and my beautiful, phenomenal girlfriend, Anita Byrne, ANETABURN. The Bamboo Project is currently made up of 6 different projects. We have the Food Project, the Music Project, the Clothing Project, the Fitness Project, the Sports Project, and the Bamboo Project Podcast, which you are listening to right now. If you want a preview of what this episode is going to be about, there will be timestamps in the description below. The podcast has 4 different segments. The first segment is the life update. So we give a weekly update on what we went through last week. Second segment is episode Playback. It's a recap of last week's episode and some of the things I feel like I could have done better. We have Donovan's questions. It's a philosophical question I thought about earlier this week. And then we will have the topics of the day. Today's date is March 9th, and it's currently 1:49 p.m. $145,000. Okay, that is the amount of money that I was supposed to get this year. $145,000. Now I fumbled the bag and I did not get the $145,000. As some people may know, if you listen to the last couple of episodes on the podcast, you'll understand why that happened. People who are new, pretty much what happened was I honestly applied for the loan after my credit was improved, and the reason I got denied was because of my credit. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to try and go and apply again, right? For a second time under a different business, thinking I'll be good. No, under the same business with an improved credit, right? They told me no. I said, okay. Apply for reconsideration, right? I got all the forms I needed, or so I thought I did. They want taxes. I haven't filed my taxes. Can't do that. So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to apply under another business that I have. I applied, and again, I was denied. So I have decided that I will not apply for that loan again. It's the EIDL loan, because I'm like, look, how many times am I going to apply for $145,000 and get denied before I realize maybe this is not for me? Maybe I shouldn't be applying for this loan. Maybe God is trying to tell me, hey, Donovan, you're not ready for this. And I'm like, all right, God, I get you. I understand what you're saying. So I decided, you know what, leave it alone. That was not even the only reason or the only sign from God to let me know I shouldn't get this loan. Melissa applied for this loan also, and she was denied for the loan under the same premise I was denied for the loan, which was multiple applications, right? So I'm like, look, and mind you, I assume Melissa only did one application. Excuse me. But it said she had multiple applications sent in for the loan. So I'm like, all right, if she got denied once, I got denied damn near 4 times. This is obviously not something we should be applying for. We need to be applying for something else. So I talked about this before. I think I did. Maybe I didn't. Same person who put me onto that EIDL loan, who would have gotten me the $145,000 that I should have gotten, but I didn't get. He told me that he has a connect who works somehow in banking or financing or is lending, somewhere in that. I don't know how he works in the actual process or workflow of it, but he said that he would be able to get me $20,000 per business that I have. I have 3 businesses. I'm like, oh shit, that's $60,000. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta get in contact with that person because $60K, I could take that, flip a house, pay off any unpaid, tax loans or tax liens I might have, pay off all of that stuff, and I'll be good, right? So I'm like, I bet. Gotta get in contact with this guy. So I get in contact with him over the weekend. I'm like, all right, what do I need? What do you need from me to get this thing through, right? Ooh, my nose. So I'm talking to him, and he's like, yeah, make sure that you don't have any tax liens. I can apply for your business. He asked me how much money I made from the business. I'm like, I ain't really make no money because I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to have made a whole bunch of money for him to actually give me the loan. Come to find out, he was like, listen, you don't have to even have had made any money, and you honestly don't even need a business to get it. I say, I don't need a business. He said, no, you need a business. I said, oh, shit, you don't got to tell me that. So he sent me the application to fill out, right? I'm like, bet. Now, I need a voided check. I need identification. I need my bank statements. And I need the thing that is fumbling me and fucking me up the most. It is the tax return, a 1099-C or C something another, right? Now, the reason I keep saying this whole fumbling thing is because I have not paid my tax. I don't really pay taxes that much, right? And the reason I don't is because I'm a 1099 contractor. And when I first got into it, you have to pay your own taxes. I never went and paid taxes. That's not something I had to do. And I had tried doing it on TurboTax, one of those online sites. I didn't really fuck with it. So I'm like, you know what? I just never paid them. So now that I had money, I would pay my taxes every 4th year and then pay back what I owed the years before that, right? But now that I'm an adult now, and by adult I mean that I have to use my taxes and tax returns and bank statements and identification for stuff, they want to see how much money I made. Can't prove that if I don't have any taxes. If I don't have any tax returns, I can't show them that I live here. So honestly, that's the only way I got into this place is because I had to show tax returns to get in here. If I didn't do that, wouldn't have got in here. So I had paid for taxes that year only. That's pretty much how I got into this place. I had to pay my taxes for the year, and I think the year before I got into here. So that's how I got here. So that's pretty much been my strategy for the last couple of years, is only pay my taxes when I need to pay them for whatever I need to pay them for. Now, I need my taxes for multiple reasons. 1, when we start doing the housing company that we're going to start this year. 2, obviously for these loans I need it for. And 3, I'm probably going to need it for when I start buying houses and flipping them and things like that. So a lot of times people keep asking me for that. So again, it comes up right now with this guy. He's like, listen, you got to give me the 1099-C or the C form or whatever. I'm like, bro, I don't have that. So I'm like, fuck. He's telling me that, go get that from the bank or whatever. I'm like, all right, that's going to be a little bit of work. I'm not really sure exactly how fast I can get that done. But my beautiful, phenomenal girlfriend always pays her taxes every single year. Every year she pays her taxes. So, I decided, I'm like, hey, babe, can you apply for this loan, this $10,000, and not 10, it's 20, possibly 20. It's forgivable. It's forgivable. That means you don't got paid again. Once you get the money, that's it. It's yours forever. You pay him his little fee, and you get to keep the money. And once he gets it forgiven for you, so I'm like, yo, if she gets 10, because like I said, he can do it for individuals. She gets 10 or 20, which is 20. I get 60, that's 80. We at 80,000. Yeah, to $80,000, right? So I'm like, we could do a lot with 80s. Not 145, because obviously we're not ready for 145 yet, because God said no. So who am I to tell God that he's wrong? But he said maybe you guys could get 80. I could do 80. I could do 80. Plus, we still waiting for my man AJ back down in Atlanta to hold it down and give us. If he come through the 200K, which is what we had talked about a couple months ago, we're gonna change our life around here. Okay, we're gonna change our life. So we've been coming to a lot of money lately. Honestly, we've been coming to a whole lot of money over the last couple of months. It's been $10,000 from what is it? From the what's that thing called? The settlement. Class. There you go. $10,000 from the class action lawsuit. Then we had Melissa got a credit card for $3,600. Then we had the little what you want to call that? I guess we made some money in the stock market. Made a little bit of dollars in that. What else we got money from? Unemployment, stimulus money. So it's a lot of influx of money coming in. Right now, we have been trying to flip that money as much as we can because we still owe money for rent. We have not paid rent in a year now. We actually renewed our lease this year. So we still owe money from last year. We renewed our rent again for this year. We don't have any income right now, really, other than unemployment. So we're like, okay, we have to get this money, this free money, hopefully, and flip it in some way. Now, one of those ways that we decide to flip it is through our YouTube channel, okay? We make a lot of content. As we talked about last week, we made a lot of purchases for the content that we have to produce for YouTube, for Instagram, honestly, for anything that we're doing, we have a lot of content. We decided, you know what? We're going to try and run to the bank, deposit the check, take that check, go to Mac store, Apple store, go buy laptops, come back home, and just go crazy with the laptops, right? That's what we thought was going to happen. So, obviously, they think we're scammers. Maybe they think we're selling drugs. Maybe they think that we're running some type of crazy, I don't know, ring of some sort. Because we go into the store and we go into Chase Bank and we deposit the check. Or what you actually call, I guess you could call it depositing, because they didn't give me the money. So I guess it's technically depositing, but I ain't get my money when I deposited it. And their reason was that it's come from a different bank. And according to Melissa, because I had missed this, the guy behind the teller was surprised about the amount of money that we were depositing into the bank. Honestly, that pretty much just shows kind of like his unprofessionalism for his job. Because I feel like, what if I was rich? I can't come in here and deposit $10,000 without it being an issue. Now he's telling me that because it's from Capital One, I bank with Chase, I gotta wait. Then when I asked what, that don't really make any sense. What if I had a business? He said, well, it's not me. His manager's behind. His manager's like, oh well, it's a new business account, so that's why. I'm like, miss, it's not. I'm not putting it into that business. So that just goes to show me she's making up anything because she don't even know why that guy had to be put on hold. She has no idea. She just saying, yeah, it's a new business. No, ma'am, that's not what's going on. So then I'm like, yeah, I explained to her that's not what's happening. She goes, oh, Leah, oh, okay. So yeah, I don't really know then. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? Why are you talking? If you don't know, if you're the manager and you just saying things and you don't know why my check is on hold, I feel like you should go talk to somebody. I feel like you should bring it up with somebody. So come to find out, a couple of things actually happened. One, the guy put the check in the wrong account. That's the first thing. Now, I think that's an issue because the check was made payable to Donovan Gray. That's me. Donovan, DONIVANGRAY. That's me. He put it in my business account for Quickies, which is QUICKEASE. You can see the difference in the two names, right? One of them is me and the other one is not me. So I could understand how if you put that into a business and the person who wrote the check goes, I didn't write this check for Quickies. I don't know who's deposited the Quickies. I can see how it could be an issue, right? So that's the first mistake that he made. The second mistake, or I wouldn't call it a mistake, the second reason I think that the bank or put the check on hold is because there's so much money. I vaguely remember people saying things like, oh, if you deposit money over $10,000, that's when the bank starts looking at your account like, what's happening? This is a large amount of money. On top of the fact that obviously you know, as well as I know, as well as the banks know, that I don't have that much money. I don't be depositing that much money ever. I was gonna say consistently, but I don't deposit $10K in my account ever. So they put it on hold. Now, normally I'm thinking, maybe a day or 2 days, 3 days tops if it's the weekend or something. They told me I had to wait over a week to get them. A week? Bruh. We went in there last week, Tuesday. I still don't have the money in my account. This is next Tuesday. I still don't have the money in my account. Now, it says a present balance or whatever, the one that means you don't have the money. It says that one, but I don't know if I try to swipe that card, I can't do nothing with it. So technically, I don't have the money. They can write all the little numbers they want on my app, Chase app. If I can't swipe my card and spend it, honestly, to be completely honest, I don't even know why they put that up there. Because why are you telling me how much money I don't have? You gonna write on here and tell me I don't have $10,000 to spend? What's the point of that? Just say zero, or don't even have that as an option. Just don't say nothing, because like I said, if I try to swipe that card, I know it's gonna say decline. So I called Capital One to see like, hey, Chase told me it's y'all fault because the money is with y'all and it ain't come through because it's a different bank. They like, well, actually, now this is some other craziness that I still think is shady. She told me that Capital One has put in a new feature or a new system that now anybody that deposits a check has to wait 7 days to see the money in their account, right? Now, that sounds crazy. Yes, it does. It sounds ridiculous, right? But I'm on the phone. I'm like, yeah, I guess, She's like, yeah, we've been seeing a lot of scams happening lately. I'm like, all right, you've been seeing scams. And then I got off the phone, right? I'm talking to Melissa. I'm like, yeah, this is what they told me. She's like, that don't make no sense. I'm like, what you mean? She's like, so what happens if I bank here regularly and I deposit a check? Every time I deposit a check, I got to wait 7 days to get my money out? That sounds crazy. And I'm like, huh. I think she might have lied to me. She probably lied, because I don't know why she would do that, but I think she lied to me. So I'm like, all right. So everybody's lying. Here's what it is. It's what I believe, right? Young black king out here trying to deposit some money in his account, and they hating. The teller hating. He black. He young. He can't deposit 10K. The lady in the back, Spanish lady. Oh, she mad. She can't deposit 10K. She work at Chase Bank. She a manager. You don't really make like $35,000 a year. They deposit $10,000 checks. Then you got this lady on the phone. She like, oh, you bank with Chase? Pfft, fuck out of here. I ain't helping you. I'm like, damn. I'm just out here without my $10,000. So you guys know I wanted to buy mad shit last week. I was going crazy in the video. I was like, oh, I'm about to get this. I'm about to get that. I'm about to get this. Bruh, nothing. I couldn't get nothing at all. I'm like, fuck. All this hype I had, I'm like, I'm about to buy all this stuff and nothing. I can't get nothing. So I'm like, fuck, this kind of sucks. Now, my girlfriend, Melissa, was very hyped to get this MacBook, right? She damn near ran out the house to the bank to get to deposit the money to get the check, right? Or to get the money from the check. So I bring this up because she was very adamant about purchasing these Apple products. She was like, she was not gonna go down without a fight to get the Apple products, right? So we come back home, but she's like, all right, babe. So remember how remember when you put the money on your Discover card? Like, how much was that? I'm like, what you mean? She's like, yeah, I was just wondering, like, if you so how much was it? I'm like $8,600. She was like, oh, okay, because I was doing the math, right? And if we get the 2 MacBooks and we still get the camera and we still get the iPad, we could still buy the stuff from your credit card. Now I'm like, that wasn't really the plan, because that money's supposed to be for my credit, keep my credit high. So to use it to purchase things that are on my credit card to then decrease my credit line, I don't really know if I want to do that. She's like, but you gonna get the money next week, and then by the time you get it next week, you just pay it off. And I'm like, all right. It sounds like a solid plan. The plan sounds like a solid plan, right? So I go, all right, fine, babe. Good idea. We're gonna go. I'm gonna buy all the stuff. So I'm gonna buy a camera, buy a tripod, teleprompter, lights, 2 MacBooks, and iPad, right? So I go get my Discover card here, babe. Drop that shit down like that, right? That's what I wanted to do if I had my Discover card, but I don't have my Discover card. so I couldn't do that either, right? So now here we are. I don't have my Discover card because I lost my wallet a while ago. I have no Discover card. I'm just kind of like, backup plan. Backup plan. You got to have backup plans. Contingency plans, okay? I decided I'm going to use my freaking, what is it called? Apple Pay with Discover on it, right? So I go in there. Easy. So when I lost my card, they deactivated the card, and I can't use that either. So now we're sitting here with no check, no money, no credit card, no Apple Pay, and we're just sitting here like, wow, this is crazy. God really is telling us we wildin'. And I'm like, God, why? Like, I thought I earned this. I thought I deserved this. And God's like, no, you don't. So now I have to call Discover. They had to send me a new credit card so I could use a credit card to purchase the stuff that I just talked about, all the MacBooks, the cameras, the teleprompters, the tripods, everything, right? So thank you to Tom. I don't know if that's a real name or not. He was able to send me the credit card express 1 or 2 days. Now, before I go on with this story, I want to bring something up to people. I think it's a really good jewel about to drop. So if I'm dropping a jewel, pick it up. Clubhouse language, all right? Clubhouse, there's a word for that. Clubhouse. Nah, it's another one. I come up with it. I forgot. It's Clubhouse something, but Clubhouse Guru Talk. All right. I'm dropping jewels right now. Pick them up. All right. Make sure you pick them up. I want to let you guys know this. All right. Take a second. Breathe deep. Here we go. If you ever need a debit card or a credit card from your bank for any reason, you can have them expedited for free. Just tell them, because they won't suggest it unless you kind of sound like you really need it. They just won't do that. They're gonna charge you. Just say, listen, I want it next day shipping. They're gonna be like, oh, you gotta pay. Say, I don't want to pay. I want it in 2 days. I don't want to pay. They go, oh, okay, that's fine, and they'll send it to you. I don't know why I don't understand why this happens, who they choose to give it to. Maybe if you have more money in your account, maybe if you spend more money with them, they do that. But I know that a lot of times, same thing with like T-Mobile and stuff like that. Like you can just be like, nah, I don't feel like doing it. They're like, oh, okay, that's fine. It's like, what? Like you could tell me I'm not paying my bill till next month. They go, okay, that's cool. You in your brain, in my brain, I always thought like it'd be more stricter or harder to do that than it was. So remember, credit card, debit card, just tell you want it next day. You might get it the next day or the day after that. I think I got mine. We got it the next day? No, we got 2 days. Yeah, it came in damn near the next day. So finally, I was able to purchase all of the stuff. So now, you guys may have seen in the video. You see how on point I was with that intro? That's because I'm using the new teleprompter, okay? And the behind teleprompter is a new camera, Canon EOS RP, new camera with a new lens. Listen, we killing them out here. 2 lights, right, left. We got 2 lights. And as you may or may not have seen, we got another angle over here. Boom, look at that. Over here, another angle. So I'm just saying, we doing things out here. And we got a tripod. Honestly, we also got 2 MacBooks and an iPad. Now, they're not here, right? And this is weird. I don't like this with Apple, all right? I should be able to go in the store and buy it myself. They're not letting me go to the store and buy it myself. So I had to order it. They want 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get it shipped to my house. Probably because I wanted, extra RAM and like extra stuff on it. I don't care. It's Apple. Y'all got $1 trillion. Figure it out. I'll show you guys could buy in the time that it takes to send that to my house. You could buy Postmates and DoorDash and have them go pick it up from whoever and send that to me. So that's all I wanted to say as far as that goes. But they said it's supposed to come in on the 19th, the 17th to the 19th. I'm just like, bruh. What day was last week? Last week was, somebody text me. Last week was the 2nd. They told me I got to wait till the 19th to get my new MacBooks. Bruh, I've been trying to edit on my new computer. Bruh, this old computer. I really believe that Apple has the same strategy with the laptop they do with the MacBook. Because as soon as I started, with the iPhone that they do with the laptops. Because as soon as I started purchasing the new MacBook, my old laptop don't know how to act no more. Now it just be freezing. And mind you, freezing on things that I normally used to be able to use, perfectly fine. Shit don't want to work now. I put my SD card in, shit don't work. It don't even show up. So I'm like, all right, Apple, I get it. I got a new one coming in the mail. We should be fine, right? God loves me. I'm one of God's favorite kids, okay? I'm going to tell you why. I know God. I know I'm one of your favorites. Because God said, let there be laptops today. So today, I should be getting a laptop. 2 laptops should be coming in the mail today. Actually, let me check. Because I feel like Melissa was getting all giddy earlier. So I'm going to check if it came in the mail. Cause I don't know. I feel like she'd be over there scooting all over the place. And let me see. Let me see if they're here or not. It's supposed to be here by 9 p.m. and they're using UPS. So I'm going to just check to see if they're here or not. It says in transit.
48.
Really? 2 subscribers. Listen, 548. Coming for that. We're coming for that 1,000. All right? Listen, every time we do the podcast, we get new subscribers. So right now, it says it will be here by 9 p.m. tonight. So that means the next time that we film this podcast, we should have new laptops. Listen, I'm telling y'all, the plan is we going up all 2021. And I'm telling you, and I'm actually working on buying a property right now. I'm telling you, we making moves 2021. Hashtag Bamboo Project 2021. Shout out to my man, Musically Challenged on YouTube. Love the hashtag. Fucking with it. So Like I said, and when that happens, trust me, content's going to be even better, coming out faster, coming out. One thing that you guys know, I've talked about here on the podcast a lot of times, is having a schedule, right? We have a current schedule right now where we will be able to put out 5 videos a week on YouTube. 5 videos out of 7 days. 5. And that's honestly, if we be completely honest, we're not even trying that hard. Like, I feel like we could put out 5 videos a week consistently of good content. Easy. Still be able to have sex. Still be able to play basketball. And be chill. Like, 5 videos? Huh? That's a minimum is 5. You got a basketball video. You got a wholesale video. You got another wholesale video. You got another wholesale video. You got the podcast. And that's just those 5. That's not including no vlogs. That's not including any other makeup videos. Not including any other clothing videos. It's literally just the bare minimum is 5 videos a week. Like, who you know? What? Come on. 5 videos? Come on. Like, come on. It's us. Like, come on. So, that is the last. Well, that's the last thing I want to address. It's almost the last thing I want to address because I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But we're getting money, right? Money's coming in. So money's coming in. We want to invest in ourselves. That's what we are. We're black people. I would say black kings, but I don't know if that works for Melissa because I don't know how that works. Black kings and queens. I guess that's how you would say it, right? So I think that a great investment with this money, a spectacular, phenomenal investment for this money will be to hire a cleaning person for the house because can you hear my nose right now? Both my nostrils are clogged, both of them. Like, I'm literally only breathing through my mouth. This is getting ridiculous. I wake up. This morning was the craziest. I have never in my life woke up this morning this morning where I had drool coming out my nose all morning. Like, I would go get tissue, I would wipe it up, blow my nose, and just sit back down and just drool. I'm like, bruh, what is going on? What the fuck is this? So I need to hire a professional to come in here maybe once a month, once every 2 weeks, to just clean the house because it has to be the fur of the cat that I'm not allergic to. It has the only thing it could be because there's no reason why I should be sneezing, my nose getting clogged, I lay in the bed, I wake up with crust on my nose and my eye. It's craziness. On my mouth, I keep my mouth open and then my mouth stays open all night. And because of that, my Melissa breath stink. It's crazy. It's craziness. What? It's crazy. So all I'm saying at the end of the day is we need a cleaning person. And I honestly, I don't want to make the time to clean the house the way it needs to be cleaned. It's not a priority to me. I need somebody else could do that. I need somebody else to come in and handle that. And I think that's all like 4 hours for that. And I think it's like $100 or something, or maybe like $200. And even then, that's not even that much. So listen, we need to get. That's what we need. We need a cleaning crew. So that's pretty much the last thing. And then you have a little bullet points I have for life update. Yeah, I know I talked about the whole ventriloquist shots. Okay, if you want to get a ventriloquist shot, I have heard that if you get one, you are now able to hang out with other people who also have gotten ventriloquist shots, but only if you guys all got it and you guys are indoors together. Now, what I think is happening is they're setting a precedent for the fact that anybody that has got the ventriloquist shot is able to go and do things, whether that be hang out in a store, hang out at a restaurant, go to the movies, and they'll have a way of saying, and I've talked about this forever, oh, you got the ventriloquist shot? You're good. You didn't? You can't come inside here. I'm sorry. You just, unless you have the ID that says you got it, you can't come in here. I just don't know what to tell you. It's for the safety of the people, right? Now, here's my thing about the whole safety of the people thing. If I get that, who does it protect? Because I can still get it and I can still give it to you. So why am I getting it? I don't understand. Every time I ask somebody, they tell me it's to lower the chances. It's to lower to what number? What are we trying to lower it to? It's below 0. How much lower we want it to get? Like, I don't understand. It's, bruh. Then, I think it was last week, we went to my mom's house. And one of the days we went over there, we saw on the news that they're now telling people to wear 2 masks. Wear 2 masks now because you know why? It lowers the risk. I'm like, so wear 2 masks and get a ventriloquist shot. For what? Bruh, it's ridiculous. I'm telling you, watch what they say wear 3 masks. I'm going to see everybody that wants to go out there and be like, well, my first 2 masks are given to me by the doctor, but the third one is for fashion. And I also got my ventriloquist shot. I'll be like, yo, yeah, do y'all not see how ridiculous this is? So that's just, another bullet point. All-Star game, again, same concept, where it's like, we're trying to lower the risk every day and lower it, lower it, and lower it, and lower it. But we still have the All-Star game. People still go to the All-Star game. They still run ads on the All-Star game. They still on national TV. But this is crazy. Both my noses are clogged. Both of them. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Bro, this shit sounds crazy. Like, both of them. Both of them. How is this possible? I need a cleaner person. This is crazy. This never happened. Both of them? Bruh, I need to move to Atlanta. This is terrible. Yeah, so pretty much, like I said, you gotta freaking have this whole ventriloquist shot, and I think it's silly because nobody who has money cares about this. Like, all the people, all the mayors, all of them, all of the senators and they are still doing all the same thing they tell you not to do, and then get mad at you for doing the thing that they told you not to do. So yeah, I just think that's weird. And then the third and final bullet point of life update is Melissa has started to make the first bamboo project sweatsuit of all time. Okay. I want to buy some patches for it, so we're going to see how that goes down the line. But you will be able to see it probably on the Bamboo Project clothing page and my Instagram and her Instagram. Maybe I might put it on a podcast too. It's going to be the first ever homemade Bamboo Project sweatsuit. Okay. Sweatsuit? Is it a sweatsuit? It's a hoodie and pants that counts as sweatsuit? Huh. Okay. So next segment is life update. No, episode playback. I think last week's intro was too long. I think I got to get it down to like 115, 130 maybe. I think because I have the teleprompter now, that'll be a lot easier to do. I need to go back and edit some of the word choices, I think, also in the intro. I think the intro is solid. I just think it needs some fine tuning, like just replace certain words. You know, you synonyms like you did back in high school. You got to take out the words and add better words. I got to do that. And the quote from last week's episode, I feel like could have been explained better. I feel like it was good. It was a good quote. It's a decent quote. I just feel like the explanation of how I presented it could have been a lot better. And I remember the last thing I talked about was the positivity versus negativity, or optimism versus pessimism. And I was saying that it's infectious. And the reason I was saying that is because you can go up to an old person, they always will just say to you, like, oh, I'm just getting by, I'm barely making it, living my life, the best way I can, stuff like that. And when I first started hearing that when I was younger, probably like 18, 19 or whatever, around the time of The Secret, I started testing myself, right? You're probably like, what do you mean testing yourself? If somebody would ask me how I feel, I would say I feel phenomenal, right? Now, that's what I want other people to do. I want other people to see how that goes. When somebody asks you how you're doing, for two reasons. I want you to say phenomenal. Say you feel phenomenal. Because the first reason you're going to say it is because even though you may not feel phenomenal, once you say it, you will feel better. I don't know what it is about the word, how it's written, how it was designed. But if somebody goes, how do you feel? And you go, yo, I feel phenomenal. It's hard to feel bad after you say that. And then the other person that you say that to, they feel better because they're like, whoa, you feel phenomenal? That's great. You feel phenomenal? That's great. I don't understand the words, but I'm telling you, try it. The next time somebody says, how do you feel? Just say, I feel phenomenal. They're going to be like, wow, that's amazing. That's God talk. This week we have no Donovan's question. We are having technical difficulties with all of our new equipment, which is to be expected, as you know, in the Memo Project. This is where we go. This is what happens. You get something new. It's going to mess up whenever you get it. That's literally, I'm like 100% sure that whenever you buy something new, it'll mess up because it's a learning curve. That's literally how everything works. I mean, the teleprompter worked pretty fine. We have no problems with that. Lights are working pretty fine. Tripods work. The camera tried to get us. The first camera tried to get us by shutting off every 30 minutes, but we used to that. It's not the first time. It's not our first rodeo. So we got that in check. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the topics. And I think that this would be a good topic for Melissa to sit down on.
Oh, sit with you?
Yeah, funny enough, that's when I'm like, and the camera died. I'm like, yeah, I think this would be a good topic for Melissa to be a part of. So, I feel like.
Damn.
What?
I don't know. I don't like this.
I feel like. Okay, before I'm gonna ask you first, and then I will say my thing. How do you feel I've been acting lately?
Normal.
Normal?
Like how you always act.
Okay. 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 Is there any problem that you would like to bring up or address?
Where I don't know where this is going.
It's just to answer the questions for Melissa. If you could think about the question, you have time to think. There's no rush.
There's like I feel
Whatever
like,
problems you have, please address them with the court.
oh, well, the dishes.
Okay.
Um,
All problems. Please
yeah,
address them.
dishes, cause that's like go into why or.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, okay, cause the kitchen is like your responsibility. So, I do try to minimize my mess, cause I know that I would leave a lot of stuff out and everything. But like, it just kind of sucks if when I go finally like cook or make breakfast or something like that, that it's not the pots and pans aren't available, cause that's just like an extra thing that I know how to do. So the dishes, not picking up when you come home on Saturdays, you put the duffel bag in front of the door and it don't move until Saturday again. It don't move, or unless I take the stuff out and put it in the laundry, and then because I try to wash it when I remember, but it don't move from that spot. Not putting the shoes on the shoe rack. Funny enough, because I used to be your pet peeve, and then I started doing it. What else? That the sheets on the floor.
I'm listening.
The sheets on the floor. That one is a big one.
What do you mean sheets on the floor? What does that mean?
When you be in the bed and the sheet touches the floor, you be putting. Donovan will take the sheet is a square, right? And he be on one side of the bed. It's not like he in the middle. He on one side. So you use the sheet from the one side that you're on. No, he gonna put the whole sheet on him from the middle. So then half the sheet is on the floor. That's a big pet peeve of mine. Wearing your socks in the bed after you don't wear your slippers in the house. What else? Not brushing your teeth off. What else? I'm trying to think. What else? The fact that you be getting salt every time I cook.
Oh my god.
Trying to think. I think those are the main things that I could think of. I don't like that you be calling me weird.
Okay, don't leave nothing out. Don't leave anything out that you feel like you want to talk about.
I don't like that you be calling me weird.
Okay.
I don't like that one. I guess it's whatever.
Which one is that?
You don't talk to me for like hours on end, all the time. But it's not as bad. Cause I be doing stuff. So what else? That's the main things that I could think of.
The reason that I wanted to bring this up on the podcast is because I feel like I have been, what's the word? Not handling my responsibilities as I should be handling them. So that is why I wanted to bring this up on the podcast. Because I am very happy that you were able to tell me the things that you don't like that I do, or the grievances that you have. Because before I've asked this before, and you'd be like, no, nothing. Everything is fine. I love everything about you. And I'm like, well, I don't really like that because I would like to know that I'm doing something wrong because I know I'm not perfect. That's what I like. So I'm like, if you have a problem, address it. Or tell me. Because I feel like a lot of times what I've been doing lately is making excuses when you ask me something. Like if you ask me about the dishes or you ask me about something on the counter or something else, I feel like I make excuses for it as to why it's there, as opposed to either one, admitting that it shouldn't be there, or two, removing it from wherever it is, right? Um, and I don't like that for two reasons. Because one, I know how that negatively affects a relationship, and two, it's because I'll think about something and then be like, I'll get it later, or it won't be that big of an issue. And then it'll turn into, then you'll say something about it, and then I'll get annoyed that you said something about it, even though I already thought about it before you said anything about it. So then it's like it puts it on you as there being an issue, as opposed to me not addressing it when I first thought about it. And I feel like it's been happening too much. I feel like too many times that I will see something I'm supposed to have done and I didn't do it, and then it turns into an issue because, again, like I said, I'm like, well, it's there because of X or because of B or C or D or whatever. So I don't like that I've been doing that. So I wanted to address that. Now, it's definitely with the dishes for sure. The dishes, the sink, the counter, that stuff for sure. It's probably happened with other things too that I can't really pinpoint. If you have any, please let me know. But I know for sure if you have any, let me know.
Another thing is you be leaving your garbage all over the place. Paper towels, I've been picking up off the floor. Cookie wrappers.
Okay, I'm glad we're having this talk because this is what I would do in this situation. This is what I feel like doing, and I'm going to show you guys what I would do in a situation, which I believe is the wrong reaction. Right? Because this is.
You want to pull up all the receipts? Which one?
Kind of, because this is my thing. I feel like what I'm about to do may not be the best response for what you're saying, because what I'm going to say does not discredit what you're saying.
You asked me.
What are you saying? What do you?
Okay, no, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So, what I was going to say, or what I feel like saying is, how are you going to tell me about messes and leave stuff around the house when you leave stuff around the house all the time, right? Now, whether what I'm saying is true or not, that you leave stuff whether what I'm saying about you leaving stuff around the house is true or not, that does not discount the fact that I still do it. So I think that what I know that I've done, and other people probably also do, is I'll say that to you, and that will end the conversation. But that doesn't mean that I don't leave stuff around the house or garbage around the house. It just means that I'm like, well, you do it, so don't talk to me about it till you fix what you're doing it, right? Now, my problem with me saying that, my problem with me fixing that problem, is I feel like if I do that, then I'll be the one cleaning up all of my garbage, and then you won't be. And that's what happened. That's why I feel like I don't want to. I'd rather be like, well, when you fix your garbage, I'll fix my garbage.
So I'm going to continue to pick up your garbage in the meantime?
Because I still pick up your garbage. That's what I'm saying. You leave a mess around the house all the time. All the time. All the time. So I don't like. Is this not true? Do you disagree with what I'm saying?
I feel like I be putting garbage in the garbage. I feel my messes are slightly different. Because, like, an example of a mess would be like me leaving the clothing.
I see the problem. Okay. This is something else that I've realized recently about my beautiful, phenomenal girlfriend, Melissa Burnett. Melissa is not a dirty person. She's a messy person. So I don't know if you guys picked up on this, right? She said that I leave garbage around the house, which is stuff that goes in the garbage. Melissa, on the other hand, leaves everything around, like books, pens, water bottles with water in it, earrings, anything she's using, just leaves it everywhere around the house. Lotion, it could be anything. Just left it. It don't have no. It has a place. It just be left everywhere, right? So when I'm picking up after Melissa, it's not garbage I'm necessarily picking up. It's usually stuff that don't belong in this spot, or it's just thrown around the house any which way. What I've learned recently with Melissa is that it's close enough for me not to realize I have to think about it. It's okay. Let me give you an example. Melissa and I have gotten to a conversation before about washing our face, right? And Melissa feels like if she uses like one of the cleansers for her face, and that's all she needs. It's a cleanser, put on her face, wipe it, rinse it off, she's good, right? Me, on the other hand, I feel like I need to scrub my face with something to get the dirt off. I need to scrub the dirt off my face, right? One example. Second example, the garbage can. Melissa will spray it with Lysol and go, okay, it's clean. All right, sprayed it, it's clean, right? Me, I'm like, I have to go and wipe the garbage, like wipe it down with something, right? Now, here's the difference between the two things. Melissa does not want germs on stuff. She does not like to see she doesn't want to know about bacteria or germs or anything. So, me, I'm like, I don't want to see anything on here. I don't want to see like a stain. I don't want to see maybe earrings on a place where earrings shouldn't be, something like that. I don't want to see those things. So, when Melissa talks about the garbage, and how I see it right now is that because it's dirty and it has germs on it, she's like, oh my God, I don't want to see it. This is nasty. I got to throw this out. Me, on the other hand, I look at it and I go, why is there a mess everywhere? There's a mess here, there's a mess here, there's a mess here, there's a mess here. I don't think Melissa sees the mess because it's not actually germs and bacteria. That's what I think.
Sounds accurate.
Okay.
I still try to be organized. Okay, wait, back to. I try to make things like, livable and not as anxious for the both of us, because I think messes do visually make me anxious. But I'll try to keep up like a time period kind of in my head for messes, because some of the stuff that I'm doing, it's like for me to have to put away and take out the sewing machine every time I use it, even though I'm using them multiple times in the same day or for maybe multiple days depending on the project. So it's just one of those things where it's like, for stuff like that, I'll try to like get it done fast so that the mess won't be there for too long. But for day-to-day messes, I'll like just put something down and forget about it. So yeah.
So yeah, that's something I feel like I've realized recently. As far as just how we think differently. And one thought I'm having right now, because I remember my sister had asked me like, what's something that you didn't realize about I guess I'm gonna listen in this case, when you moved in with her. And I had answered her before, like, it's just things that you never think the other person, like, it's just the thought processes are different. So if somebody has said, hey, you're messy to Melissa, no, let me see. In my mind, what I view as a mess and what she views as a mess are two different things. And I don't think that people know that, because you don't ask that on a first date. You don't ask that on a third. You don't ask somebody like, hey, what is a mess to you? How do you consider a messy house? You don't ask that. And I just think it's funny because there are things like that are just small things that just the way somebody is brought up is just very different. Like some person might put ketchup in the fridge. Somebody might put it in the cabinet. Somebody might use a microwave for storage. Somebody might use it for cooking food. And I think those are just small things that, because your whole life you live that way, it's just kind of, what's the word? It's just, I'm just gonna call it strange. That's my word for it. It's just strange because you grew up thinking every day you do this thing, and then you move in with somebody and they're like, I've never done that before. I've lived my whole life doing something completely different, and you just go, what? How is that possible? How do you never use the fridge or use the microwave for storage? How is that? They go, why would I put that? Why would I use it for storage? And you have to sit there and think and go, that is very odd that you live your whole life doing this thing perfectly fine, never even thought about it, never even had friends that did it, and then I live my life where every friend I have does it. My family does it, my friend's family does it, and it's just kind of funny. So that's one thing I kind of wanted to bring up about that. Anything you want to say on that? Okay. The next thing I want to address, Melissa's grievances. Oh, I think I'll address this one. So you said the weird thing. Let's go with that one.
Wait, you made a list?
Yes, I don't want to forget anything. Okay, so you said weird. Can you explain that one to me?
Every day.
Uh-huh.
Every day, at least once a day. Sometimes it's like I understand the reason why. Most of the time it's understandable, but I still don't like that it happens.
Okay.
So, yeah, because then I start to think about it like, shit, am I being weird? Is this thing that I'm doing right now weird? So.
Okay. So, weird. I don't have a word for that, and that is. Hello. Yeah, I don't have a word for it, and that's why I call it weird. As you saw earlier, I don't know what to call somebody who does something different than you. Different? I don't know. Cuz when I use the word weird in a situation, it's how I feel when she's doing the thing to me. I feel weird. I feel like jittery. I'm like, why are you doing that? That's how I feel. So I'm like, what you're doing is weird. So I think, and I don't, do you think if I said it makes me feel weird that it would change anything?
Yes, because I think it's just one of those things where when you switch the direction from the person to you, because then I won't feel attacked. I'll be more responsive to what you're saying. Like, that's how that works. Because you removed me from it.
Yeah.
And it's more so like, this is how I feel. Like, I feel like this right now. I feel uncomfortable.
Okay, so let me ask you this though: if I said to you, when you hug me, I feel uncomfortable. See? 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 That's what I'm saying. So now, I don't think you want to hear that.
I don't want to hear any of it.
But okay, I'm gonna address this also in a couple of minutes.
Didn't we come up with the word for this?
I don't know.
I think
Maybe.
it was like purple dinosaur or something like
That's
that.
not no. That was
anxiety.
Yes. Oh. Yeah. So I'm gonna try. I have a reason for that. I'm gonna address that later. But yeah, like I said, the whole weird thing with, actually, yeah, I could address that now. I feel like, because it's part of what I want to talk about either way. I feel like the reason I call it weird is because I feel like she's being needy, and the neediness to me is what makes me feel uncomfortable, because I feel like she is trying to force a reaction out of me for something that she wants, and that's why I feel weird. It feels like seethy or dirty, because I'm like, I think that she is hugging me for her, not for me. No, I think she's hugging me so that I can hug her. So I think she's doing things, positive things, for me to react to her, as opposed to doing the positive thing for a good reason. And that's when I feel weird. So an example of that would be something I feel like okay. On a podcast, we have talked about this a lot, where she'll go in the mirror and look in the mirror, look how good she looks, and then look at me, right? And I'll be the laptop over here, and I'll feel her looking at me. And I'm like, okay, I know she's going to say something so that I can tell her or validate the fact that she looks attractive. And that's when I tell you she's being weird. When she does stuff like that, because now I feel uncomfortable, because I'm like, if I look at you, she would say something along the lines of like, look at do people's butts always look like this after they, wake up in the morning? Or is it just me? I'm like, I don't, maybe. Joe, you don't think my butt's got bigger? I'm like, it did. But look at it though. I'm like, yes, it did. So that to me makes me feel weird, because I feel like she's trying to force me to tell her that she looks good, or her butt looks good, or her hair is longer, or her skin is clear, stuff like that. So that makes me feel weird. So that's one of the reasons why I say weird. Now, another thing that makes me feel weird is when she wants to hug me after she's done something that she feels was a good job, that makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't know how to react to that. Because for me, I don't feel like the comfort for somebody else is an approval for a reward for what I did. And I feel like if she does something that's good, then it feels like the reward that she wants would be from me. And then I feel like I have to be the reward. As I say it out loud, I don't know how bad that sounds. But I just don't feel like I should be that reward that she looks to get from doing something for herself. What do you think about that? If I'm wrong, you think I'm incorrect or disagree, you could say any of those things.
It's weird because I think you don't like when I get too happy.
Uh-huh.
So I think you avoid making me too happy.
That's partly true, yes.
With that being said, I feel like you feel more comfortable pointing out, I guess, when I don't do things, or when when I don't do things, or if I mess up, you would feel more comfortable like addressing that. So maybe inadvertently it's like, okay, I know I do these things wrong, but you see this? You see that? You see this? I know you saw that. Did you see this? So maybe it's that. Because I don't know if it's, you don't say positive things often because I'm already acting in a way where it's like I'm looking for you to give me a positive response to what I'm saying. I don't know if I'd stop doing that, how things would go. I feel like you probably would say something positive, but then I'm gonna look at you suspiciously. I feel like, yeah, because I'm like,
you know what's funny? How that sounds like to me. I wonder if anybody else picked up on this. That sounds like the inverse of what I said about the dishes. Does that sound accurate to you?
What do you mean?
When I said that the reason that I don't want to, oh no, it's cleaning. I said that if I start cleaning up without you cleaning up, I'll feel like I'm cleaning up and you're not still cleaning up. I feel like I'm cleaning up after you, but you're not cleaning up after yourself. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I'm cleaning up after me and myself and not you. Mm-hmm. I mean, and you're not cleaning up after yourself. I feel like that sounds very similar to what you're saying, where it's like, what would happen if you were to stop trying to seek validation? I
don't like that phrase.
I tried not to say it earlier, but I feel like that's the only term I can think of. 'Cause I think that's what it is.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I mean,
it's probably accurate, but I don't like the phrase. But sure.
Yeah. Because I feel like then you would get the thing you want by not doing the thing that you think you need to do.
But you don't sound like, I feel y'all should hear Donovan give a compliment. It sounds like he's like. It sounds like. I'm like, yeah, you know, like, it sounds
that is not true. Because here's the thing. This is the thing. This is why it's on the topics, because I feel like there's a level of what you should be able to do and what you can do that I feel like there's an average. You should be here, and I feel like anything you do over this, I'll be like, yo, that was fire. But I think like you want me to say that all of this is fire too. And that's what I think the problem is. Because I'm like, if you tell me that you sold a new stitch, or like and I don't mean like you just did a new line, I'm going to be like, Melissa, you done sold a whole hoodie and jackets and bags. And you sold a line. Like, this is not outside of what you're capable of doing. You didn't do anything new. You didn't overcome any feat. You just did what you do regularly. But I feel like you'll be like, oh my God, I did this thing. I'm like, I don't feel that way about it. And I feel like the problem would be that if you felt that way about it and you were excited, and me not being excited didn't bother you, I think it'll be fine. But I feel like when you bring it to me so I can be excited for that thing too. And I feel like that's what I feel like where it's like you're trying to draw or pull a reaction out of me. You're trying to force a reaction out of me, and I'm like, I don't like that.
It's I don't. That's not how I. That's not the mindset that I have going into it. But I see how that would be how it comes off that way, or how it can kind of, I guess, turn into that, because a lot of the times, like, I am genuinely excited about whatever the thing is, and I want to share whatever that thing is or the excitement with you. But that's not just because I'm excited about something or something interests me doesn't mean it interests you. So I can't expect you to be like, oh, what, when that's not what you care about. But then I'd be looking at you like, why are you not like, oh, what? So
Right, and that's the thing too. Is like, I've thought about this before we started dating just years ago. Is how to discern what you share or what excitement you share with other people, because everybody doesn't share the same excitement. Me seeing a basketball trade would not excite you if I said, "Listen, Drew Holiday got traded to the Lakers," and I'm over here like, "Oh my God!" But look, he went to the Lakers. He's on the Lakers, and I'm like, so you don't care, and it's like. And that's the same face I have. That's the same exact face that I have. That face is the exact face that I have. It's just like same exact face, because I'm just like, I don't know what to say to this.
I mean, what I thought in my head is like, that doesn't mean you don't care. It's just, yeah. So.
Right. It's like, I don't know what to say to this. It's like, it sounds good. So that's kind of how I look at it with that. Let me see. I think that was probably it for that part. Because I guess I just kind of was curious. What did I say? 121. I was just kind of curious if you have a reason why you think that happens, why you would do that.
Why I do that? I told you. You'd be pointing out my flaws. You'd be like, well, blah, 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 blah. X, Y, and Z.
Okay. So do you think that you're doing that to prove to me that you're not the negative thing that you think I think you are?
Listen, I think that's part of it. Yeah.
Huh. Because I don't know if this relates to that then. Because I was gonna say, whenever you're doing stuff without doing that, I feel like I'm always like trying to hug you and touch you and talking about what you're doing. Like whenever you're not talking to me, I'm like, like, hey.
But that's the thing is like, and I think that's funny because listen, we both know that if I had my way, I could just like roll into a ball and be inside of Donovan. That's what I would do. I would just be attached to him. Just like, I think we were in the same pants one time. Like that's mine. That's what I want to be. That's there, just attached. So I just think it's funny because I'll be like, we live in a studio, but like Donovan will be here and I'll be up against the wall working on whatever I'm working on. So I'm focused on whatever it is that I'm doing. I'm not. Then it's like, damn, I gotta cook something. Now I'm trying to cook in the kitchen, and then now that's when I'm cooking in the kitchen. That's when Donovan wants to come up to me and then want to then either touch me or whatever. But I'm doing something right now. So it's just like when I feel like I'm not doing anything, or when I feel like I have the time to be like, hey, but then you get turned off from the fact that I'm like, hey.
No, because you be doing it weird. I feel like it
doesn't, and like
it makes me feel weird.
It completely negates whatever it was I was doing that morning. If I do not talk to Donovan for 12 hours, and then I go to him like, babe, whatever he was feeling, gone, just done. Just get away from me again.
Because I feel like when it happens, I don't think that you be caring about what I'm doing when I'm doing something, and that's what I think happens. I think that you be like, I want your time right now, and I need the time right now. And that's what I feel like. I feel like when I do it to you, I don't try to start from doing whatever you're doing. I'll just kiss you on your neck, on your back. I might grab your butt, I might rub your stomach, but I don't feel like I come and stand in front of the stove and while you at the stove and I'm like in between you and the stove. I think that, and that's why I feel like I'll hug you from behind, kiss you, and be like, hey, what you doing, babe? What's going on? But I feel like it'd be very strange if I came over there and like went under your arm and separated you and the counter and stood there and was holding you. You'd be like, Donovan, I'm cooking. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I haven't talked to you all day. I don't think it would. But I'm sure. If you think it would.
If it became a daily thing, it's like get away from me.
Yes, every day.
Yes. So that's I'm like. Okay,
and while you sewing, imagine you sewing. I'm like, you haven't talked to me today.
Listen, I think you are making valid points. It's just sometimes I think about getting to point B, and then that's all I'm thinking about.
What is point B?
Inside of me, just in the crevices of God.
Yes, I believe that. I believe you try to.
Fit.
Yes.
Still, that's just what I think about. I kind of disregard. It's like you've been working on morning. Like you could take a break.
Right. Watch this.
But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, do that to me. That's I'm like. Yeah. It makes sense. Mm-hmm.
So that's and the last thing I'm going to talk about with this is a phenomenon that has plagued my family for a long time that I have I guess now inherited is this breath thing. So obviously Melissa's breath smells really bad, and I don't understand. I don't understand.
What?
I don't understand. What are you talking about?
First of all, you know what? Go ahead, continue your story. That's obviously what it is. Your tales.
So Melissa's breath smells so bad, right? And I'd be like, babe, your breath. You gotta brush your teeth, right? And she'd be looking at me like, I know you're not talking because your breath smells crazy, right? And I'd be like, no, it don't, because you be underneath me. Now she tried to convince me that my breath does not smell, that it smells bad, and she still wants to be underneath me. And I'm like, there's no way my breath can smell as bad as your breath because I can't be underneath you. That's how bad your breath is. So what I've come to realize is that we are in a post quarantine life, I would say, right? And what I mean by that is when everybody else last year was under quarantine, I was at work for the most part. So I wasn't at home. I would go outside, I might brush my teeth when I go outside to work, take a shower, so on and so forth, right? Now that I'm at home the majority of the time, I don't be showering unless I'm going outside. I don't brush my teeth unless I'm going outside. So it kind of becomes like a thing where like, I guess our breath be smelling kind of bad, and then we don't be showering that much, so then we don't be doing the, rubbing the conch, we don't be tickling the elbows, we don't be, knocking boots. It's like, a lot of things come from that. So I just think that it's very interesting that Melissa is telling me that I don't brush my teeth. But, again, the fact that she also does not brush her teeth does not mean... Okay, you're right. The fact that her breath also stinks does not mean that I shouldn't brush my teeth. That is what I wanted to say. And I am going to make an effort to brush my teeth regularly so that my girlfriend loves the way my breath smells. Minty fresh. Do you have any final words?
Why would you... I don't know why you lying. My breath don't be stinking.
Melissa, I thought you shit in your mouth yesterday.
No.
I thought yesterday, I was like, I thought you shit in your own mouth.
Farted. It was your breath.
Not my breath. Listen. And I have an ailment, okay?
What the fuck is that?
My nose is clogged, so I can't breathe through my nose. So I have to keep my mouth open. So that now I have a reason as to why the food comes out from the stomach. So that is that. So that was our episode of, I guess, couples therapy. And we will be back here. Listen, we are here every Tuesday. Videos dropping every Friday. That is the new schedule. The podcast on YouTube will be dropping every single Friday. That's the new goal. Because next week is the 1-year anniversary of the Bamboo Project podcast. And we will be, going to the new year, we stepping it up a notch. We're going to try and have a schedule for every video that we drop. You should be able to know what time is it? It's Friday at 3:30. You already know what's going down. You know a video about to drop because it's already scheduled because we bout it like that. All right, so we are welcoming guests. We shoot between 10 and 12 on Tuesdays. Hit me up if you're trying to be on the podcast. If you haven't already, go check out our social medias. Mine is Donovan Gray, DonivangRay, and the beautiful, amazing, phenomenal girlfriend, Anita Burn. ANETABURN. Okay, boom. Now we have multiple different projects. Okay, we have the food project, we have the clothing project, we have the music project, we have the fitness project, we have the sports project, and we have the Bamboo Project podcast, which you just finished listening to right now. And with that being said, Bamboo Project out.